Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to our Abu Dhabi preview. My name is Jesper Enker. I'm joined by the one, the only. He's got a familiar face in the camera, but on Twitter earlier you may have seen he changed his logo. David, let's get the inside break on this revolutionary move from your Twitter profile. What? Why?
So it's a big moment for any person. Yes, you're known as a certain mole figure. I felt time was right for a change, and when you've got such a talented artist like Kelly Milligan on hand to design a new profile for you, it felt right.
Why not? So you specifically asked for this profile picture. Is that how it went?
No, she was given carte blanche.
Oh. Let David know what you think about his new profile picture over on Twitter @CyclingMole. Just take a look. It's different. It might take a while to get used to, because for me personally, I'm so used to that orange background, that cute mole. Now, is that ever going to come back? Are we going to have a retro week at some point, David?
That cute mole.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was cute. Who knew? Who knew it was cute?
Do you know what else is cute, David? A bunch of good pro cyclists in Abu Dhabi getting paid well to ride on the Yas Marina Formula 1 circuit. You ready to preview Abu Dhabi?
Let's do it.
Last year, man, it was almost like a Tour de France start list down in Abu Dhabi. What exactly happened last year?
Well, it was kind of boring, to be honest, with sprint stages and then the big mountain stage itself, where sprint stages were kind of shared out. Was it Ewan won? Cavendish got the first one. Can't remember who got.
Kittel won the first one.
No, Cav won the first one.
No, because what happened the very first one was that Ewan celebrated too early, whereas Kittel came around, did the whole.
No, that wasn't the first one. I think really? that was the second or third one.
Wait. Let's have a look.
I'm right. You know need to check.
Okay, Kittel is second. Come on, I mentioned the right winner, just the wrong stage. That's technically how these conversations go, David.
Technically, yeah. So the sprint stages were shared, and then we go to the big kind of mountain stage, which is just a flat day, big mountain. Always reminds me of Star Wars. Jabal Hafit. I'm expecting some kind of bad character from Star Wars to appear, and some really kind of Darth Vader music at that point. The climb is.
Put out on Twitter earlier today.
No.
Oh, you should see it once you're done, because that will make your day. Go on.
The climb is 10.8k, 6.6%. It's on really wide highway. Last year was incredibly tactical. Quintana wanted to attack. He was fresh off a big win in Valenciana. Contador just wanted to follow his wheel. That really annoyed Quintana. He eventually stopped trying. And then with various kind of attacks going off, Rui Costa got away. Zakarin joined him. Dumoulin chased hard. Couldn't quite reach them. Costa wins the kind of sprint bit at the end to take a really big win for, obviously, UAE riding. This race is hugely important to them. He took the win overall, which was great. He had a really strong start to the year. This year they've added in the time trial, which is really good, because we will have some gaps going into that mountain stage. So it should be a bit better structured. The time trial, we've been lacking one in this part of the world since the Qatar race kind of stopped. So it'll be good to see them. I think it was meant to be 11.7. I think it's actually about 12.8 now. So that's going to be some gaps. And we've got, as you mentioned last year, a stellar field. We're back with another fantastic field of top sprinters and top climbers.
Well, we've also got the first, 3 stages of sprints, David, going on first?
Yeah.
What do you make of those 3 stages? Are there any technicalities you need to know? Any turns? Any chances of echelons? Or are they like turn on the last 10k and hear Kirby scream his heart out?
Judging by the weather forecast, I don't think we're going to get echelons in the race. They are there as a potential, because we do cut through desert. Most of the stages, the sprint stages we've had before, they are the same. The first stage is the one that Cavendish won last year. Although quite straight, it is hard to control. Wide roads, and then all of a sudden you narrow into a roundabout, lines the bunch out. because most teams come here with a climber, we don't have the same level of sprint trains that we had in Dubai. So in Dubai, you had a quick step team that had 7 riders, which was Viviani plus 6, just to dedicate themselves to him, and boy did it work, because he was outstanding there. Now, like, if you look at Quick Step have Alaphilippe and they have Ignace. So there's 2 riders straight away who are GC riders. Now, Alaphilippe could potentially come in and do a role in the lead out, kind of 4K out, and then that leaves them with Viviani himself, so take him out of the equation. They've got Sabatini, Morkov, Hodek, Knox, young Brit. He probably will do some work on the front because he's just recovering from injury. So in terms of his actual sprint train, we're only looking at 3 riders, which is a big difference compared to what he was coming before. And to be fair, it's the same with most of the teams, because most teams come with sprinter and climber. So Mitchelton Scott, they probably have the best train, in my opinion. They'll have Tuft, Kluger, Tuft, Bauer, Kluger, Mezgec, Caleb. So for me, that's the best train. Kittel, a lot of questions after his last race. Not quite sure what he's going to do. He comes with, again, this short train, which he perfected at his time at Quickstep. But at Quickstep, he had Trentin and Sabatini. So for those who aren't familiar with it, what he would love to do is he would hang back in the kind of final kilometre. He would be way back compared to what you would normally think, which would be kind of top 10 Wales. And then Trentin would just go, boom. And he would go full on sprint. He would carry them 300 metres. He would take them up the bunch. Sabatini would take over. And then they would put Kittel into kind of 10th place. And then Kittel goes and wins all the Tour de France stages. Virtually everyone the same way. That's not working yet for Katusha, because it's Marco Hala and it's Rick Zabel. 2 fine riders, but not quite as fast. So I'm interested to see if Katusha will change what they're going to do. They've got Zakarin as well, so they've got a GC rider. If Kittel goes through the race and doesn't win a stage, confidence is going to be an issue.
Well, what about technicalities, or mechanicals, like dropping your chain in the last minute? Last year he did actually crash pretty hard in this race particular. Looking further over, David, I know there's a team you really want to talk about. Team Lotto and El Jumbo.
Loving Jumbo. So, talking about that short sprint train that Quick Step seemed to perfect in the Tour de France. So, Jumbo had a real good look at that and decided that this is the way we're going to go. This is the future of sprinting. No longer are we having the 6-man, 7-man trains. We're having 3 men maximum. And we're going to actually slot a classics man in as final lead out to have that real kind of punch. No longer are we going to go for like a poorish sprinter to go into that role. So for Groenewegen, they've gone with Janssen, and they have Timo Rosen, who is he's all of a sudden become almost #1 lead out man in the world. So they're doing a brilliant job, and they are also trying the same with Danny Van Poppel. So they've got Wagner and they've got Van Heck. So I know for a fact Van Heck had a very good winter, and he already did a monster pull to give Van Poppel, to help Van Poppel on his way to a stage win in Valenciana. So Jumbo are moving towards that short train, but it takes time to get right, and sometimes you can get it right and sometimes you just get it way wrong. It's the risk you take.
David, when looking at this start list, I know you're not one that's shy of controversial topics. Why do we have this many star riders in Abu Dhabi? Why does Valverde skip on one of his home races in Spain to come to the middle of the Middle East?
That's a funny one. I'm not entirely sure why Valverde is here and not doing Andalusia. I suppose, it's a World Tour event, which, there you go, that's why he's here, because it is World Tour and it's about points, it's about money, and that's the real reason. I mean, when Abu Dhabi moved, was it just last year they moved to this time slot? I think it was. It used to be the end of the season. There was a lot of outcry because it goes straight up against Umloop and Kuurne versus Kuurne. But I think it actually does have its place at this point in the season. It provides sprinters who wouldn't cope in Belgium at this time of year. It provides them with good weather, solid 3 stages, and then it also provides climbers who need a little kind of extra tune-up, a good chance here, nice mountain stage, not difficult, and it's a good kind of test for the form. So I do like it at this point of the year, and it does provide them with a slightly different route in. There's a number of riders who come here. It's the first race of the season. If it wasn't at this slot, they would probably have to start the season a little earlier. So Dumoulin, who obviously started here last year, and it was an overwhelming success for him to go on and win the Giro. So he's following the same route. Zakarin starts here. So I'm quite happy to see it here. It slots in nicely in this midweek of nothing. And then it provides you with some nice early watching on Saturday and Sunday before the real races start.
Ooh, the real races on loop, David. Miko Anko Lopez and Lutsenko down Oman. What happened there, David?
What? Lutsenko? Like, really? I mean, come on. That's insane. To win that race, to ride up the Green Mountain for Lopez, and then ride over the line just behind him. Lutsenko's form must be off the chart just now. Lopez, hugely talented athlete, brilliant climber. I've mentioned in the last preview, he will go on to win Grand Tours, blah, blah, blah. Will he win this race? No, I doubt it, because the time trial, he is a good time trialist, but it's a pan flat, few corners, huge gear, just lactic acid coming at your eyes kind of time trial. It's not really going to suit him awfully well, but he could well win the mountain stage. Lopez is incredible. He clearly, I think, is going to have an amazing season. And Lutsenko, he's off to Belgium to see if he can go and win on Saturday.
On the topic of lactate out of your eyes, one name just stands out on this list. Mr. Rohan Dennis. Where do you rank him in the chances of winning this race?
High, because despite the presence of Dumoulin, he's going to come here and he's going to be the favourite for the TT. Already won the Australian time trial this season. He did the Tour Down Under as a teammate. He's still in that transition mode, going from TT racer, weak stage racer to Grand Tour rider. The crash right at the beginning of the Giro robbed him of the chance to show everybody what he was capable of last year. They're going with the same plan this year. They're looking to make the transition. Interestingly, he said that even though he's spending time improving in the mountains, he's still got the same power for the TT. And we saw towards the end of last season, he was just blasting out the time trials. He is ridiculously fast. He is ridiculously aero. It would be a big surprise if he didn't win the time trial, and then he goes into the mountain and he gets to defend. He'll have Bookwalter, he's got Caruso, he's got Franchini, he's got Roscoff. He's got a strong team to help him defend, considering it's just one mountain. The lead-in that day is flat, so he's just got 10k to try and defend and maintain a lead of, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 seconds. He might have less to Dumoulin, but he will certainly have 30 seconds plus to the likes of Valverde and Lopez. That's what's going to make it really hard for a non-TT specialist to win this race.
Team Sky, David, they have also done really well recently with Kwiatkowski, David Lopez winning the TT. Who's their main man for this race?
De La Cruz. You said Lopez.
Oh, that's what I meant. Well, wait, what's the middle name? No, why did I think of Lopez?
He's a mystery.
His Twitter handle is like IMDlax, and for some reason I thought of that and I thought of Lopez. I just made it much more complicated, my segue, than it should have been. Go on.
Team Sky, it's kind of like their reserve team, their backup squad here. Castroviejo comes in. I mean, amazing TT rider, solid climber, very good chance of kind of going top 5 overall in this race. Theo Gegenhardt. They've got Halvorsen, who really unfortunate crashed in the People's Choice Classic. couldn't ride TDU, comes here to try and get some sprints in his legs. There is no lead-out training for him whatsoever. I suppose the big news is Luke Rowe, who broke his leg in a stag party incident. Apparently, was it rowing? It was in a boat anyway. It wasn't falling down the stairs to the dancers. Put it that way. So he's back much earlier than scheduled, which is great news for Team Sky. Potential of him being back there for kind of Paris-Roubaix time. Castro vehicle, top 5 potential. I'm not too sure though.
Is there anyone you'd like to single out, other than we've mentioned already, before we move on to the Kobayashi segment?
Yeah. So I think there's a few riders who are coming in here who could surprise. Good form or just like the Packers. So we've got Alexander Geniez, who's already started on fire. He won GP Marseille. He won Tour La Provence. He won at the end of last season as well in Italy in Trevale. Very good time trialist. Eventually now starting to find his feet in terms of his climbing ability and matching the big riders. As a mountain stage is just one mountain. So if you go in there with a good TT behind you, it is possible to not get gapped. We saw last year big groups of riders coming over the line together. It's not an easy mountain to make big differences on. So Geniez should really be focusing for kind of top 5, top 10. Steve Cummings. This is a good race for Steve Cummings. He can time trial extraordinarily well. Former track cyclist, so the kind of 12k, 13k distance of the TT is brilliant for him. And with him, you never know. If he's motivated and on form for this race, he could win it. If not, he'll be last. So we don't know what we're going to get
last time, and
yeah, it did. So I don't know what we're going to get with Cummings, but yeah, he hopefully will do well. It's the type of race that I think fits well for him.
Exciting. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the Kobayashi segment. And thank you so much to Velofax on Twitter for creating a script that not only selects a random rider from the start list that either David and I have to talk about, it also blanks out their palmarès, so I can't even cheat if I wanted to. And also it cuts off the whole random number, figuring out where they are. So without further ado, Kobayashi, and this is for Mr. David Hunter. We're going to see the machine do its thing. It's going to highlight a few riders, and who's the lucky rider going to be? Oh, come on, it's Danny Van Poppel.
Oh, yeah! Right, as we've mentioned, Van Poppel started the season strong with a good win in Valenciana. Didn't quite manage to go 2 from 2 because of the kind of wet conditions, final stage in Valencia. He comes here against the best sprinters in the world. We've got Ewan, Kittel, Cavendish, Greipel, Viviani. This is not going to be easy for him. He has this short-term lead-out train that we've spoke of. Van Emden possibly to blitz kind of the last 5k, hand over Wagner, Van Hecke. If Van Poppel can go top 5 here in the sprints, he'll be doing well. If he can take a podium, that's a significant achievement for him against this field. I know the Jumbo team are excited with what he potentially can do. They feel that they can improve him a huge amount. Now, he's already a massively talented sprinter, so if they think they can improve him a huge amount, I'm excited to see what he can do this season. So, Van Poppel, if he can take a podium from one of the 3 sprint stages, it'll be a good week.
Okay, here comes me. David, we both know where this is going to end up. Oh, please, have mercy. Machine is going again. It's highlighting riders. Vincenzo Albanese. Bardiani CSF, hugely talented rider. My former colleague at Swift actually rode with this guy in the under 23 level. Keep an eye out on this guy. This guy's going to make the ranks up. He is a climber, right, David?
No.
No, I don't know the particulars, but what I do know back when I played Pro Cycling Manager is that he would always go to UAE and he would always become a massive star that would annoy me.
That's terrible. You mentioned Swift, and then you mentioned your game that you used to play.
You get your knowledge from different places. All I know, it always ends up at UAE Emirates.
You're filling here with nonsense.
No, what? Give us some information, David.
He is, well, when he kind of came through the youth ranks, we were thinking sprinter. And when he joined Bardiani, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking he's going to go on to be a kind of sprinter for them. Last season, he didn't really sprint. They were looking at him kind of being more a breakaway rider or a kind of hard man race sprinter type, which didn't really work out for him. However, it was a good season in terms of lots of racing in the legs. He then goes to the World Championships under 23. He does a really good ride. I think he was like top 10 or something. So that's what I see him being. I see him being more of a sprinter, but his team don't. His team seem to really kind of be sticking with this idea of him being more of a kind of classics rider. I'm sure they know better than I do. They're the ones that work with the guy day in, day out. So I think we're looking towards classics. So in this race, he will probably do a bit of kind of breakaway rides.
Look on the bright side, no matter what, David, they know more than I do. That's at least something we can establish at this point. On to the fourth and final segment, the prediction segment. Since David went first with the Kobayashi segment, I will take on with this, and I'll try to not embarrass myself again. I'm going to go with Mr. Alejandro Valverde. His time trialing's been improving. His form is insane right now. And on the final climb, I feel like it's going to... I don't see anyone attacking solo off the front. He'll definitely be up there. He'll win the stage. I reckon Valverde within like a 10-15 second gap. The thing is, you can't... Regardless of how good you are, I feel like picking like Rui Costa this early or Tom Dumoulin this early in the season, like 9 out of 10 times it's not going to work. Mr. Valverde, he's also out there. If you follow his Strava times, thanks to Jamie, you could see that Valverde's put in a massive time up the climb recently. He's just a safe pick. I'm going to go with him. What about you, David?
What's Jamie's surname?
Sorry? Oh, like he tried to spell it out for me with like hyphens in between. I say it's Huey because that's how I read it. You, it's like Jorge? Like, how do you say it?
Jorge.
Jorge. It's like Spanish. It's like Jorge.
Jorge.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Jamie.
Jamie, I think that's why you did say Jamie. I just wanted to bring it up again.
I know.
Right, so will Valverde win this? No, he won't. No way.
No way?
No way. I mean, 12, 13 kilometre time trial against Dumoulin and Dennis. Valverde's dropping 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. Possibly more. On the climb, you know, it's difficult in that there's a kind of middle section which is like 8% or so. But for me, Valverde's not going to make the time back up that he drops in the TT. Brave prediction considering the form that Valverde's been in already this season. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to go with Dumoulin. What? You know, he was close here last year. He was third. Add in the TT. He will be close to Dennis in the TT and he will outclimb him on the mountain. And Dumoulin will start his year with a big fat win.
Have you seen his TT World Kit?
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
Nice. Like it.
Well, it's a brave choice, though, considering his bowel movements. Just saying. Somebody has to say it. Anyway, there you got it. David is on Tom Dom. I'm on Alejandro Valverde. Let us know in the comment section below who you are on. I hope you got your questions answered. We will be back on Thursday evening. Time will be on Twitter when it's fully confirmed with Mr. You want to say it, David?
Yeah, it's Umloop, so we had to get a big hitter back, and it is the one and only Michael Valgren will be here on Thursday night at 8:15 in Scotland, so 9:15 for you continental Europeans out there.
I just realised this will be our first time trying the Kobayashi segment on a pro cyclist.
I think the pro cyclist might be exempt from the Kobayashi.
No, absolutely not. If I'm making a fool of myself on a daily basis, so can the pros. We'll hear what Michael Valgren thinks. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on Thursday for our Omloped Newsblatt preview. Take